Let's go a little bit further with curves and do something, at least one thing that's practical. Open up Ruins PSD in your exercise file. Now, I know this image is too yellow. The reason I know that, it's the type of film that was used based on the light source, which was the sun, and I know the image has too much yellow in it. You could take outdoor-based film and shoot indoors if you're shooting with film with fluorescent lighting and produce a green cast. Color casts are pretty common, and they're not that difficult to get rid of either. So if we go into curves, I'll use this little button right here. In curves, we can do this a couple of ways. Let's actually use two. I can come in here and choose the color to remove, but you'll notice you don't see yellow. Remember, the components of RGB are additive color, and they have an opposite value, which is subtractive, which is cyan, magenta, and yellow. So blue and yellow are the opposite of each other. To get rid of yellow in an image, you need to add more blue. So let's go into blue right here. Put a point on our line right here. If I move it down, I'm adding more yellow. If I move it up, I'm adding more blue. And in doing so, I begin to fix this image. Now, it can cause other problems. When you're working with blue on an image in a restorative way, chances are it's probably going to impact the other channels. The one it would probably impact the most to change would be red. So let's actually go into red. Pop a point right there. Just click on that line, and we're going to bring this one down a little bit. Now, if we turn that on and off, we've actually done a pretty good job of removing the yellow, working with the color channels. Remember, RGB, cyan, magenta, yellow, the opposite colors, the opposite values. Let's go ahead and reset. What if you're really not that sure exactly what you're supposed to do here? You're not sure about the color, and you still want to fix the image, and you want to use curves or levels. Incidentally, these eyedroppers, which we're going to talk about next, are in levels, and they would function the same way. What you want to do is see if you can find something that's a neutral, that would not have any color, shade of gray. Could be dark, could be light, it doesn't matter. But in the original, it wouldn't have had any color to it. So let's try this. Come over and pick up the middle gray eyedropper. That's the only one we're going to need. Come over and look for an area, and I guarantee there's a lot of neutral in this image. But I'm going to go way up here into this very dark area, because I know that's got to be neutral and there's no sun or anything else hitting it. And with one click of a button, you can fix the image. See how it expanded our blues and subtracted our reds? Actually did a little bit of yellow too. But it did a good job with one click of a button. Well, that's what curves does. That's its job in life, as well as levels. Both of those tools are tremendously adept. For example, like changing contrast, like we did with levels on Mom, or color correcting, either by using an eyedropper to let that happen, or by doing it manually because you know the colors to choose. Curves and levels manipulate information in a photograph on a base level based on red, green, and blue, or cyan, magenta, and yellow, and they do a really good job of it. On to the next.